Hello, it is I, Broderick Wallace. Yeah, this is part 2, but it's also kind of going to be its own thing, part 2 of the Exodus talk. Now, after making that Exodus video, and I know it does seem a little bit new-aged in a way, and just no apologies for that, because sometimes the truth is radical, or at least the kind of theatric gestures that we need to become comfortable with produce results. There is a strange interplay between those two concepts. But I've had a lot come to my mind last few days. I tried to make this video maybe 5 times. I'm almost ashamed to admit that. I mean, like, why? Because I've never cared too much about these videos. I just chuck it on. I don't make them to entertain people. It's like, I mean, you know, obviously I want to promote my channel. There's the reasons reasons have accumulated. So in the beginning, I'm just being distracted by a lady walking past me with a Ouija board t-shirt on. I need to make a video about Ouija boards one day. And I'm going to meet my old friend, actually, who participated with me in the Ouija board days. I'm going to meet him soon again, so I'm looking forward to that. I've got a pint of tea ready. Let's just top it up. Excuse me. Yeah, just so much on my mind. And then there's so much that I want to say, but like, you know, when you hit record and it's like, what? And like, I've made notes. It's like, can I not only remember the content to which my notes are pointing, but can I structure it in the right order? But even, you know, like all day, like all these other things have been flashing up, and I'm sure to the listener, I mean, it's probably 50-50 whether this just sound completely insane or not. So I'm going to tackle this issue as well, kind of sideways, the weirdness of it all. So my reasons, it was first of all, it's because I wanted to tell a story that was already becoming bloated and complex beyond even my capacity to keep it within me. The story of not only everything that had led up to over a lifetime, but the relationship and the ongoing drama concerning the goddess of Bluebell Hill. Obviously, I'm saying goddess. She is known as the ghost of Bluebell Hill. This is a misnomer. This is a misunderstanding. I'm coming along as an occultist, as the first occultist to have interacted with this this living myth in the landscape. And I know this sounds terrible, but like, so far I've been the only one who could have understood, and that's why we've had this interplay. And I know when I talk about this, say for instance, when I did my when I read out the chapter that I've written, I did it on purpose, because like, as soon as I uploaded that, I saw two or three people disappear, and it's like, good riddance. Because if you can't understand the concept of, what's happened to my headphones? What do you mean power off? Power on. This is so. You see, it's like you see how difficult it is for me to make this video. And you see, it's funny. As soon as I mention that subject, you know, why did my headphones just turn themselves off? You're reading too much into it. Well, maybe. Where was I? If you can't understand how the theatrical gesture made into a practice and a habit, if you can't understand how that relates to your personal practice as the microcosm, how this reverberates out into the macrocosm, then you might as well unsubscribe right now, because that is the main gist of my channel. All the other stuff, yes, it's you know, it's not the main reason, but it's the continuing theme that runs like a thread of the weird throughout all of the other subjects. It's getting away from this modern materialistic notion that everything happens because shit knocks together, and it's like, no, the mind, the way we think, the role that we choose to play, and our very intentions shape our magical destiny. So anyway, I'm going to make this part 2 very, very short. Actually, no, before I do that, I'm going to say about this, about Alba, right? I'm there now in the landscape, the sun is setting. I've just been feeding a couple of magpies, lovely couple, getting to know them, they're my neighbours. A couple of squirrels as well. All these happy couples, you know what I mean? It's like they're trying to rub it in that I'm single. And here comes a fox chasing a cat out of its territory, and it's staring at me right now. So this is what happens when you mention this subject. Yeah, go on, back into the bushes. Lovely russet red fox there. It's like, this is my place, get out. You know, so as the sun sets, you do see more animal activity. And yeah, I wanted to say, I did actually reach out to a guy who says that he's researched the goddess, sorry, the ghost of Bluebell Hill for 25 years. That's what he said to me a couple of years ago. So it's probably like 27 now, or 28, God knows what, right? 2 or 3 years ago I spoke to him. Yeah. I've been researching this subject for 25 years. He said to me, what do you think it is? I said, well, this is quite a hard swallow, but like I need to tell it slowly but surely. And the truth is that I've actually stopped telling most of this story. And I've decided that I'm going to put most of it in writing, because it's so delicate, and some of it I will keep to myself. I don't share everything. I don't share the way I feel about everything and everyone all the time. I don't share everything about my practice. And I'm just going to go to my notes here. Give me a moment. Self-honour is a key component of the cultivation and retention of inner magical manner. I'll chuck you that bone, right? And this is a nice relaxed one. So if I stop and pause, if you can't handle that, then again you might as well leave, because I'm going to stretch this one out. So give me a few seconds. This is not about entertainment. So I was saying, I don't talk about everything that I'm thinking and feeling. I will not share every aspect of my past. I will not share every aspect of my experience. If I'm extremely verbose, it's because I'm enthusiastic, because I'm engaged. And I find it difficult to understand why I don't see more of this kind of power off again. The headphones turn themselves off again. Like, oh God, am I going to have to keep turning these on? I'll plug them in a moment. Anyway, I'm definitely going to make this part 2 and move on to part 3. I hope this has come out, to be honest. Are we still recording? It's capturing the moment beautifully. You couldn't make this up, right? Anyway. So, yeah, I was going to say concerning my experiences. If I've talked to this guy who's been researching this subject for, getting on 30 years now, and I've said, he knows another guy who's written a book about it, and I've said to him, send a message to the other guy. I'm no nutter, I'm having a real experience. It's complicated, it's detailed, it takes a while to understand, but as far as I know, notwithstanding any historical cases that are not documented, I'm the only person that's seen her more than once. And I continue to have interactions, and I will continue to. No one else's mind stuff is powerful enough to affect this relationship. This is why I operate in certain respects with no fear whatsoever, and almost a kind of arrogant gusto in a way. Sometimes I might come across as egotistical, fair enough, but it's about the theatrical engagement. We can talk like this in a moment, and then we can relax, have a cup of tea, it's all good. Yeah, let's not get too carried away. Everything has its place. There's a time to work, a time to eat, a time to get serious, a time to lay shit down. So I'm laying it down now when I say I was polite for a very long time. I found it's been exactly the same no matter what field I've ever operated in across my whole life. You come across a blanket wall of silence and oddly uncomfortable faces, right? Now, sometimes when I meet genuinely insane people, I have to adopt that mode. I have to adopt that mode day to day all the time, because let's face it, almost everyone is insane, on pills, falling apart at the seams, weak-minded. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's get some strong people around me. Let's hold each other up, against this bombardment of just weakness all the time. Like, fuck, there's a place for compassion, but sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, fucking hell, like, what are you, a jellyfish? Stand up. So what I'm taking a very long time about coming towards is, if you were that interested, if you had someone come up to you choosing the right words, obviously not delirious, who said, look, I've seen her more than once, you've been researching this for many years, your friend has written a book, and I've been very nice about these people, and I've met paranormal teams in the landscape. I'm sure that this kind of rough Bluebell Hill ghost community, whatever they are, I'm sure a couple of them must have caught wind of me, they must have seen my videos or whatever, right? And you have to ask yourself, why wouldn't they, or I ask myself, concerning them, what's the deal? It's because it's the classic story of left field, alternative, new, fresh perspective is not welcome. Because they've made their minds up, she's a ghost. I mean, they're already operating within an alternative field anyway. You would have thought they would have a little bit of, a kind of, they keep the door open. But no, they've made their minds up. It's a ghost, it's a ghost, it's a ghost. It's a girl, bless her heart, who died on her way to a wedding or etc. It's this person, that person. I genuinely feel deep respect for these situations that have taken place. They may have contributed, but the core of the mystery is much deeper, much more mysterious, much more powerful. And if you'd asked me a few years ago, I would tell you exactly where you can sit and exactly what you should do in order to meet her. And now I won't do it. Why? Because I've graduated now. I've reached maturity. I understand the way things work. I had to turn the headphones on again. It's good, this. It's sort of slowing me down as I get emotionally engaged. But there is a time to become emotionally engaged. That knowledge I will not share. That knowledge will be kept inside the session circle, Bluebell Hill. In the future, it will be withheld by it will be, obviously I will tell my teacher, a few close friends, and I will instruct them, never speak of this, and I know I can trust them. And you might think, well, who cares? Who cares? Exactly. This is my point. There's not enough care. It's like leaves being blown about by the wind. Even within alternative fields, even it amazes me. It absolutely amazes me. You know. So I don't talk about everything. I want to make this clear. I don't talk about everything that I've been through. I don't talk about everything that I go through lately. I do not give out all of the information. I do not always talk about how I feel. I don't talk about my past in terms of everything, just key aspects, especially as they relate and can be woven together. The door is closed on this now, as a new door opens for me and those who are willing to apply themselves seriously to such subjects, and evidentially so. Right, see you at part 3, where I will be calm. That needed to be said. Enthusiasm. You know, every expert began as an enthusiast. Okay, and if you got no spine, nothing ever happens. That's a fact of life. See you for part 3. Thank you.